So for those who don't know, I'm DJ Ragoza. I've been DJing for pretty much most of my life. I started in the early 2000s when I was like 12 or 13 years old, something like that. I started with records. But yeah, I've just been DJing a long time. My main passion in life is making mixes more than anything. I love doing DJ battles. I love scratching and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's mixing that really stole my heart, and I built my life around it. So. Not only do I DJ live every weekend, but I also have a lot of clients that I make mixes for every single month. So I'm always having to make creative mixes that sound good and that, are well produced and not just something that you go on the turntables, you do it live. This has to be stuff that is, sounds really smooth, stuff that's really well thought out. And a lot of times I get requests for certain themes and things like that. And, I made a name for myself, for making mixes that really hit the mark with specific clients. So it's something that I take really serious, but it's also something that I have a lot of fun with. I know serious and fun, it sounds like a contradiction, but I really try my best to have a lot of fun when doing mixes, and DJ.Studio has made mixing a lot more fun for me because I used to use Ableton to make my DJ mixes, and Ableton is great for sure, but it's for producers. So a lot of the stuff that's on Ableton is not useful to me as a DJ. There's a lot of stuff in there that I don't really use, and putting together a DJ mix to my standards in Ableton, while it's very possible and it can come out sounding great, it takes a very, very long time. So DJ.Studio basically takes everything that is great about any other DAW that's made for producers, but they scale it down to where it's all the useful stuff for DJs. So in short, what ends up happening is a lot of the tedious things that you end up dealing with when you're making a DJ mix in production software, you don't deal with in DJ.Studio. And one thing that I love, I admit I have real bad ADHD. My brain goes a million miles a second. So when I'm thinking of creative ideas, I don't want to get stopped. I don't want my momentum to get interrupted by having to take like 20 minutes to warp one song, or take another 20 minutes to go into another stem separation program, separate the stems there, put it back into the software, and then mess around with it. Those kind of things really kill my creativity. DJ.Studio allows me to just have fun the whole time and not spend time on the monotonous things, but spend more time being creative and just, like I said, having fun, but also at the same time holding my standards. So I'm really excited to show you guys what I do with DJ.Studio. I was, like I said, making 3 hours of mixes every month using Ableton. It was taking me like 80 plus hours to do these. It was consuming my whole life. And I was looking online for exactly what you're talking about, DAW for DJs. I might have typed in that exact thing, actually. That's how I found DJ.Studio. And this was, I think, around the time it first started. So you guys didn't even have the stems yet. But I saw where it was going. So I was like, all right, I'm buying the one-time license now. And, I messed around with it a little bit, but then when you added the stems, that's when I was like, okay, this is amazing. Let's go. All right, here we go, guys. Buckle up. Let's have some fun. So let's start with the playlist. So what we're doing today is we're going to do an 80s mashup mix, meaning it's not just a mashup. It's not just a mix. Basically, it's a mix with a bunch of mashups in it. So this is a very involved project. Let's just very quickly go over the track list so you guys know what to expect. I tried to choose songs that are very well known and very popular. That's how I like to do a lot of my mixes. I like to keep things familiar, but I like to give the listener unexpected moments of excitement with the mashups and the switch ups and the transitions and all that. So let's see what we're working with. We got Hurt So Good, John Mellencamp, Electric Avenue, Eddie Grant, Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen, Faithfully by Journey, Push It, Salt and Pepper, Don't You Want Me, Human League, Heaven is a Place on Earth, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Lose Your Love Tonight, It's Tricky. I'm sure you guys know most of these songs. Sweet Child of Mine, Take Me Home Tonight, Funky Town, Supersonic, Into the Groove, Wild Thing, Pump Up the Jam, Sweet Dreams, and You Give Love a Bad Name. So that's like 19 tracks. But we're going to cram this into a very short mix. This mix is going to be under 10 minutes because we're just going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it fun. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So this is the playlist. Obviously, we can, move things around if we need to, but I've been DJing for a long time, so I know these songs very well. I already know what's going to mix good with what. So we're good here. So let's go over to the studio. And the first thing that I like to do when I go into the studio after organizing my songs is I like to determine what tempo I want my project to be at. If you click on manual, you can, well, let me change actually to fixed. So if I go to like, let's say 130 to like 145, for example, right? Because it's fixed, it's not going to let me change the tempo automation. But if I go to manual, now I can go up, I can go down, and I can do all types of stuff. So you know, if you're the kind of DJ that likes to make mixes with different tempos, you can see it's very easy. But for me, the way I like to do it, I like to work in segments. So I'll just keep this segment at 130, and then, you know, we have a steady tempo from there, and we can just get to work. So we have that set up. So now we can start messing with the song. So let's look at the first song that we have here. We have John Mellencamp, Hurts So Good. Let's listen to how it sounds. So that's the beginning right there. We have a little instrumental before the vocals come in. All right, so that is perfect for mashing another vocal on top of it because it's instrumental anyway. Even if it wasn't, we could just use the stems to make it instrumental. But, you know, so that part right there, I already know I can do a mashup with that. And I know Electric Avenue is in the right key. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on this track. I'm going to come down here to the track tab. And when you're using DJ.Studio and you're using songs that are like more current, like especially like house, EDM, things like that, you don't even need to really do anything. Once the track is in here, it's going to be perfectly on the beat grid. But with a lot of the 80s stuff, and that's why I purposely chose this theme for today, because with a lot of the 80s stuff, these songs are not quantized. They were played by a band, so the tempo varies a lot. And to do a mashup mix with these kind of songs in another program that's made for producers, right? Like if I was trying to do this in Ableton like I used to do, doing a mix like this would literally take me all day long, right? Because I'd have to warp everything. But with DJ.Studio, check this out. I just hit AI Flex, and it's going to be good. I can zoom in. I can see that the beat grid is lining up. So I'm good. That right there just saved me 5 to 10 minutes because now I don't have to warp this song, all right? So AI Flex is going to be our friend for this mix because, like I said, we're using stuff from the 80s, so it's not perfectly quantized, no problem. And I'll be showing you how to do stuff with the beat grid later throughout the project if you need to adjust things further, right? All right, so I said I wanted to mix Electric Avenue over this intro, so making this happen is going to be very easy. All I have to do is let me hit the AI Flex on Electric Avenue. Let me find where the vocals come in. Right there. So all I have to do is highlight a little bit of it, and I can double tap it and say, hey, give me the vocals. I'm going to click on copy vocals. Now the vocals are going to show up in the sample lane below the song. And I can drag this now wherever I want, and it's going to be in time with the grid. So I can drag this over here now. And the other thing is, too, is if you ever want to get rid of this bottom display to see your whole project when you're not using this, you can just hit zoom so you can see things a little bit easier. So now we can go ahead and we can get this lined up. I could already tell you I think we're going to need a longer intro here, so let's just extend this drum loop a little bit. That first bar right there, I can just highlight that section. I can hit Command D, and I can duplicate it a couple times. And actually, because this is the start of the mix too, let's get this on beat first. But I'm going to put a drop here actually. But let's just get this lined up real quick. Now in the street there is violence. I think I got to bring it back a little bit. Now in the street there is violence, and a lot of work to be done. Maybe one more. There we go. Here we go. Woo, so much fun. All right, Now, this is another really cool thing I love about DJ Studio is these beat gridding options that were added recently. So if you zoom into the waveform and you see the the beat grid come up, you can hover your mouse up here and you can get all these different beat gridding options. So you have things like you can adjust the individual beat on this one right here. If you click on the 4 lines, it lets you adjust the whole beat grid. And you can adjust the BPM. If you messed around too much and you really mess things up, you can go ahead and reset it over here. You could tell the beat grid where you want the downbeat to be, where you want the first beat to be. We're going to use some of this stuff a little bit later on through the project, but the feature I want to use right now is this one right here, adjust beats with next beats. I think this is really cool because if you listen to the way that Eddie Grant sounds over this instrumental, I think that his cadence sounds really good in the verse, but when the chorus comes, it almost sounds like he's singing a little bit too fast for the beat. Let's take a listen. So that's good right there. But I feel like when the chorus comes in, like it doesn't sound bad, but he's just slightly out of pocket. I want to put him in the pocket a little bit more, but I don't want to affect the verse. This is where adjusting just the beats, the beats that are ahead instead of the beats that are behind is perfect because I can zoom in. Right here is where the chorus starts. We gonna rock, and you can see how his vocals come in a little bit before the beat grid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click right here, adjust beats with next beats, and I'm gonna drag it to the left just a little bit. Now he's gonna sound a little bit more relaxed when he's singing over this. Listen. Now he's in the pocket a little better. Right? So that's a really cool feature right there. So yeah, I like the way that sounds.
So Brandon, so you're kind of purposely making it a little bit, singing in him a little bit offbeat.
Yeah, I'm just putting him a little bit because the thing is singers are singing to different songs. When you're doing mashups, right? You got to remember that he was singing to a different instrumental. Maybe if he was singing to this one, he might have sung it a little bit different, So it's just one of those things where, the longer you do this, the more sensitive your ear becomes to those kind of things. But that's why it's really nice because I don't have to. I like the way he sounded on the verse, but I wanted to just adjust the chorus a little bit so he sounded a little bit more relaxed. So it's not something that you have to do on every mashup, of course. But what's great is that the option is there. Because if my only option was to adjust the whole beat grid or to only adjust one beat at a time, it would take forever. But this gives me the best of both worlds because I can adjust the whole beat grid at one time, I can adjust one beat at a time, or I can adjust beats on one half of the song and not the other, which is great. Yeah, he's sitting in the pocket a little bit better now. But that's also subjective, that's how I hear it. But that's what's great is DJ Studio gives you a great canvas to really express yourself. And if you hear something a certain way, you can make that happen pretty quickly. Now, the other thing I want to do, because this is the beginning of the mix, I want to put like a quick drop in here. I know we get questions about this a lot. A lot of people ask me about drops. Now, DJ Studio has a voiceover option, and what this does is any audio that you put into this is going to automatically duck the audio in the rest of the project. So this is great for like talkovers and things like that. But depending on the kind of drop that you have, like the drop that I'm going to use right now, let me drop it in. I'm going to drag it in from another place on my computer right here. So I'm dragging it into sample 3. The reason why I'm not going to use the voiceover in this scenario is because this drop that I have is already heavily produced, so I know it's already going to sit well over the rest of the music. So I'm just going to bring this to the beginning.
How did you get that white line in the sample?
Oh, okay, so you can see this is really loud when we put this in. You can see that this is you can see how big the waveform is. It's definitely loud. So if I right-click on it and I add volume effect, this gives me the white line where I can adjust the volume of the sample. So let me actually go ahead and redo that. All right, so I'm gonna drag this in here, taking it back to the 80s. You can see it's a really big sample. Like we listen to it.
It's DJ Ragoza taking.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on Add Volume Effect, and then I can lower the volume. I'm gonna lower it about 7 decibels. I think I have to drag this back over. But now the mix has a nice intro.
Taking you back to. Yo, we about to take it back. It's DJ Ragoza taking you back to the 80s.
Now in the street there is violence, and lots of work to be done. Lots of work to be done.
There we go. And now the other cool thing is when you grab something, like I grabbed this acapella earlier, you don't have to just stick with what you highlighted and dragged over. You can also get, like, if I decided, you know what, I want the beginning of this acapella in here, I can actually drag this. I can hover my mouse right here so it turns into the bracket, and I can drag it to the left. Now, those little shouts that he does at the beginning, now that's going to be in there as well. Let's see how that sounds.
To the 80s.
Now in the street there is violence.
Right, now the mix starts off with a pop. All right, so the other thing I want to do before we move on from this one is I just want to add a quick echo on this last word right here, higher. Because you can hear that there's still some space left in the phrase where there's no singing. So I just want to maybe fill that spot in with like an echo. So to add an echo is really easy. We'll use an effects block. So what I'll do is I'll come down here, I'll click on effects, and you just have to make sure that you're highlighted. If you're using it in a sample, you want to make sure that your playhead is where you want the effects block to be. So I want an echo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click in the echo tab, and this is really cool. If you look down here, you can see the timing of it. So I want a 1-beat echo. I want it to be like take you higher, 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 like that. So yeah, it says time 1 beat. So we're good. And then I can come here and I can automate the way the effect sounds. So in this case, I want to turn the feedback up quite a bit because there's a lot of phrase left. And then if I click on this yellow dot right here, and then I drag my mouse to the right, I can extend this out. So let's extend this out, and let's see how it sounds. There we go. Nice, nice. I like that. Now, because we're making this a quick mix, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into the chorus. So right when the verse comes in, what I can do to make it easy on myself is I can just put the playhead where the verse starts, and I can hit Command E. When I hit Command E, you see that it splits the waveform apart. So now I can move it around if I want to. But what I really want to do is I just want to cut straight to the chorus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click down further in the song, and we're going to find the chorus. Her so good. So there's the chorus right there. So I'm going to click right there where the chorus is. I'm going to hit Command E again. And now this whole middle section I can just click on and delete it. Right? And then I can drag this over. Now you'll hear it goes right to the chorus. Super clean, right? So now let's figure out where we want to mix out. All right, so that's where I want to mix out. So once again, I can just hit Command E. Even if I'm not going to do another chop, just hitting Command E kind of gives me a visual reference. So when I zoom out and I grab my transition window, I know exactly where I want to put it. Right? These are the kind of little things that save me a lot of time. So let's see what we got going on deck 2. Oh, we have Electric Avenue, but we already used the acapella, so I can actually go ahead and delete this. But one thing I'll let you guys know is if you delete a track, make sure you don't have any samples under it, because any sample that's under a track, once it gets deleted, that sample will also be deleted. So if you copy a vocal, you copy the acapella or something, and you want to use it for later, but then you end up deleting the track, make sure that you don't have any samples under it that you don't want deleted. So in this case, we can just go ahead and get rid of the track because we already used it. So now we have our next song here, Born in the USA. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over to track. I'm going to hit it with that AI flex because I already know this song doesn't have an even meter. So I can. The other thing I like too that DJ.Studio added is the ability to have these this double arrow here. I can grab this. This allows me to move the track around really easy, and I know I won't move the transition window by accident. So I can move this where I want to. I could see that this is the beginning of the song. Like I said, I know these songs really well, so I know that this song starts with the so I know that's the downbeat right there. I'm good. So I'll just drag that, and you see how I'm lining it up with the beginning of this transition window. That's a workflow that really, once again, makes my life so much easier. All right, so let's see what this sounds like right now. Sounds really bad, right? Well, we can clean it up, and we can clean it up really nice by clicking right here, and we can show stems in the transition window, right? So now we're seeing all the stems for both of the songs that we're transitioning in between. So these are the stems for Hurts So Good. So what we're going to do is these songs are not even in the same key with each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the vocal. I can either click on the vocal and lower the automation, the volume automation line, or I can just click on the tab if I want to mute it. So I want to mute the melody, bye melody. If I want to mute the bass, click on that, goodbye bass. And we'll just leave the drums. And let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so it's a lot smoother, but it still uses just a little bit of work. So what we can do now, which is really great, is we can see the stems in the transition window that we have here, but we can also see the stems in the waveform. We get to toggle between the different views right here, which is really nice. So I'm going to click here because I want to show all the stems. And what I'm going to do is, it's so awesome having these automation lines just right there for you with each individual stem, because now I can really handcraft my transitions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the bass, and I'm going to click here to put a breakpoint in my automation line, and I'm going to get rid of the bass, but only right here. I can be really accurate with it, which is nice. And then I'm actually going to highlight the melody here, and I'm going to copy the melody to the sample lane. I'm going to explain why I'm doing that in a second. All right, so I'm copying that over, and then because I copied it to the sample lane, I'm just going to mute it right here. And like I said, I'm gonna show you why I'm doing this in just 1 second. Let me just make sure I have this chopped right. Okay. I'm gonna add a volume effect here so I can kind of shape the sound a little bit. Basically, I want to catch the note where it goes da na 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 na, and then have it stop there before the lead into the next part comes, right? Because that's the part that's throwing my ear off. So the I want to get rid of that. So I can use the volume automation to get rid of that. Right now, I could have done that just up here, but when I copied this melody to the sample lane, now it allows me to add effects to just that stem. So instead of affecting the whole song, I can just have effects on just this one stem, and that's what I want. I want that last guitar note to kind of ring out a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to click right here, and we're going to click on this sample right here, and we're going to come down to effects, and we're going to add a reverb now. All right, and I want like a decent reverb with this. All right, so I added the reverb. Now I can grab this effects block and I can put it at the size that I want. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit, and let's see. Okay, now that's sounding a lot smoother. The last finishing touch I'll put on this is, those of you who know me know I like to use transition effects, like sound effects. Not effects like a reverb effect, but like a sound effect. So like this is, let's see. Yeah, I have names for this. So this is my new favorite transition. So I'll just drag this here. So this is another way that DJ Studio saves me a lot of time. I like to use these transition effects that it's like a swell. Like if we solo this out, by the way, you can click solo right here so you can just listen to one channel. If we listen to this, you can see it's like a swell, right? It really helps your transitions sound even smoother. But you have to place the swell, like where it gets to the climax, you have to place that just right to get the best effect out of this this sound right here. So with DJ Studio, it'll quantize it for you. So all I need to do is just drag it, and it's going to line up perfectly with my transition right away. And I could turn it down a little bit, so I add a volume effect, and I'll just bring that down just a little bit. Okay, so that transition is definitely smooth. We can, yeah, we can go ahead. We can lock this in. So after you're happy with the transition, you can lock it in. The only thing that I would say is this transition is kind of long because this is going to be a quick mix. I definitely want like a vocal over this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a just like an acapella loop. These are, you can find these on all different types of record pools. Whatever one you're on probably has some type of acapella loop collection. So because we're in the 80s, I'm going to drag in this Roof is on Fire loop right here. I'm going to drag it into the sampler. And if you're working with something that's an acapella, all you need to really know is the BPM of your acapella. So I know that this one is 130. So I go to track, I click on my sample here and I go to track. It says 128, but it might have detected it wrong because there's no beat. It's just an acapella. So I can click on this right here and I can change the BPM of the sample to what I know it is. Now the other thing is too, is if we listen to the sample, we know this one. The roof, right? The roof is on fire. Where's the downbeat in that? It's roof, right? The roof. So what I can do is I can move this beat grid over. I can adjust all, and I can make sure that it's placed on where it says roof, but then I can also put the first beat there. So now that will be the correct one. So now when I'm dragging this sample around, it's a lot easier to place it. So let's see how it sounds. All right, and of course the phrasing goes a little bit off there, so we can fix that. So I'm going to do is just add a volume effect. And then I'll highlight this part right here. I'm going to hit Command C, and then I'm going to click in this sample lane 2, and I'm going to hit Command V, and then this should fix the phrasing. And then of course too, a lot of my clients they need these mixes to be clean. So if there's cursing in it, I can just very easily use the volume effect to clean up the cursing. So right there, I can see that's the bad word right there. I can just click here real quick. And, oops. Yep. And I can take this bad word out. Oop, I can get that a little bit cleaner. That's what I love about having these automations, though. You can get it exactly how you want. There's another bad word there. And we can get rid of that one there. Okay, now listen to how fun this sounds. Yay, I like that.
So, Brandon,
Yes.
there are some people who are asking, like, where did you get those transition samples, or where did you find those?
So there's a lot of places you can get them. You can use. I personally like Splice, but if you use Loop Cloud, you can actually access Loop Cloud directly from DJ Studio, which also has stuff like this as well. So if you go into any site like Loop Cloud or Splice, or any website that sells production sounds and things like that or samples, the keywords that you want to type in is transition, downsweep, impact. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, riser. Riser is another good one. All right, we'll be using a couple different ones today, so I'll point them out as we use them. So this right here is a transition effect. So if I were to go into either Loop Cloud or Splice, I would search transition, and I would get a bunch of effects like this. You could probably search swell or sweep. Sweep is another one.
And also on the samples tab, if you move your mouse a little bit to the right, there's a button called Sample Pack.
Oh yes.
Yes, so that's a free sample pack which everybody can download for free from the Loop Cloud people, and they shared also lots of risers, for example. You see them already in here, so if you could click them. So these are just for free for everybody to use. You're not starting off with a clean slate. You already have a sample pack available.
That's actually really nice that you guys put that in there. The only reason why I'm using these is because these are the ones I've been using for a long time, and it's kind of like. It's almost like your signature thing. Like, when people get a mix from me, they expect like those certain little sounds. It's almost like a DJ trademark or like a watermark almost.
Yep.
But you can use whatever ones you want. Like there's no right or wrong. Just choose the ones that sound fun to you, Yes. But as you can see, they're very, very useful.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I know right here that this is the chorus of Born in the USA. So I want to do a mashup with this part. I know this next song right here, Faithfully by Journey, this is the same key. So this is going to sound really nice together. Let's just hit this with the AI Flex real quick. Make sure we're quantized, all right? I know that this song starts on the downbeat, so I'm just going to drag it to the beginning of the transition window.
There was also a question from someone saying, like, should we use AI Flex for all of these types of tracks?
I would say for like the older stuff, it's been working great for me. Yeah, like all the older stuff I've been using ever since the AI Flex was put into DJ Studio a few updates ago now. I've really been using it a lot, and it's one of those things where you'll see later on in the project there might be little adjustments we have to make after it, but I just hit AI Flex with these old songs, and it just does most of the work for me, which is great. So you don't have to do it whatever.
What I do is just hit AI Flex, open the tempo lane, and just see what's happening, if it looks okay or not, and then proceed. Right? It's always good to check if it's doing a great job. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You could zoom in. You could look at the beat grid and everything. But for me too, like what I like about AI Flex is that it doesn't. Like it warps it perfectly to where you don't lose the groove of the song. So it still allows a little bit of sway in there for that natural element, but it keeps everything sounding good and locked into the grid good enough. But more than anything, I'll use my ears. So if something sounds off to me, then I'll be like, all right, I'll fix it. So all right, so we dragged the Journey Faithfully over here onto the chorus of Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. So let's show the stems. What we're going to do, because the beginning of Faithfully by Journey only has a piano and nothing else, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of Bruce Springsteen's melody and we're going to get rid of the bass. But we're going to keep the drums and we're going to keep the vocals, and then the piano is going to act as a melody. And it's in key, so it should sound good. Let's see. Hey, sounds nice. The only thing, it's a little quiet, so what I can do is I can come down here to Effects and make sure I'm clicked on Faithfully by Journey. I want to turn this one up just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. We'll just turn the gain up by 2. And just so we can hear the piano under Bruce Springsteen a little bit better. And the other thing too is we can see that Bruce Springsteen's vocal at the end gets cut off a little bit here. So when you see that happening, what I can do is I can grab this arrow on the end of the transition window and I can drag the transition window out just a little bit. And then I can just cut the vocals right here in this little break, right? And now he finishes his note and it sounds nice and clean. All right, so now we can listen to this transition. We can put another, let's see. Put another transition effect right here. And of course, all I got to do is drop it in. I don't have to mess around with trying to place it exactly right. It takes 2 seconds. All right, now let's see. Okay, and then of course we could take out the drums at the end. We get that drum fill. We don't need that.
So I also have a small tip. I have a small tip for people who are like struggling with the small screen estate on their screen, because now you're like in this little top part. But for example, in the left bottom corner, you see the voiceover lane, and you see like the little how do you call it, the little thingy in front of the word sample 1 and sample 2. That's what you can use, right? To close.
I'll make sure.
No, it's also just for other people, just to know how they know how it works. If you don't have enough screen estate, you can either go to the zoom tab at the bottom of the screen that's now selected, or whatever, if the voiceover, because the voiceover lane was opened at some point, or because we don't need was talking about it, just click on the little V, or the flying V, how you call it, just to close down the lane, so then you can better see what you're doing.
Yeah. The other thing too is
sorry to interrupt. You can also click in the lane itself on the left side under the knobs, and it will zoom. Or you press the Z key.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That Z.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, so you can really see what you're doing. Yeah. When I first started using the stems, I actually did zoom in to things like this, but I've become so used to DJ.Studio that now I zip through things. So thank you for pointing that out, because we can extend things, make them look bigger. So like right here, I'm taking out this drum roll at the end of Bruce Springsteen to kind of even things out a little bit. But you can see having this automation right here is really nice. But of course, if I click right here and I click on Z, now it's really big. And I can really get more detailed with it. So yeah, I think I'm happy with this transition. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to put a drum beat under this, because there's no drum here. I don't want to kill the vibe of this mix, right? Right? There's no drums. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of 80s hip-hop flavor with some salt and pepper. We're going to take Push It. Once again, we'll just AI flex it real quick. And we could either highlight a section of the song and copy the drums, or if there's a part that we know where there is already empty drums, we can just highlight that. Like I think right here, if I solo this out. Yeah, that bar right there, we could just use that. So I can highlight that, and I can just copy the sample lane. I don't have to copy it, vocals or drums or anything. I just copy the regular audio to the sample lane. So it's nice to have that option too. So now I can take this this little drum sample right here, and we can use this to quickly redrum faithfully. And I can see that that's the downbeat right here. And then if I grab this tab right here, like if I hover my mouse right here, you can see that we get this this looping, almost looks like the old school shuffle symbol, but this is a looping symbol right here. So now if I click down and I just drag this out, it's just going to be a perfect loop as long as I need it. And I think I only need it, I think that's where the chorus is. So I'm just going to keep dragging this out to where the chorus comes in, and then we're going to make a transition. All right. So, and then the other thing I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to drag a little bit extra, because you can hear that when the drum beat comes in, the full attack isn't there. Like the thump of the kick is missing a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do, if that's happening to you, I'm going to drag this back a little bit, and I'm just going to use my volume automation, my volume effect, and I'm going to mute all this stuff here, but I'm going to make sure that I leave just enough to get that thump of the kick in the beginning there, because that's really important. There we go. Already perfectly on beat, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, I've tried warping this song Well, I've worked this song in Ableton many times throughout my career, and it's always such a pain, this song. But with DJ.Studio, I literally just hit AI Flex, and I'm able to redrum it in seconds. Even the breakdown, everything's on beat. So what I want to do to make this exciting is where the music drops out, I'm also going to create a dropout here in the music. I'm going to use my volume effect to cut this out nice and clean. I just want like the kick at the end, like maybe a little bit more. Okay, like that's good right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to add a reverb. So click down here to effects, click on reverb, and let's give this a nice big reverb, right? We want this to echo out. You know, and maybe I can actually drag this out a little bit more. Yeah, let's do that. Yep. There you go. That's what I wanted. And then to make it extra sexy, we'll add a down sweep. So I'm going to add a down sweep 2 right there. Put that in another sample lane. And let's turn this down a little bit. Yay, right? And then this is where I want the beat to come back in. But instead of bringing the drum back, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring in the song now. So I can drag the transition window over here, right? And make sure that the song is at the beginning of the transition window. And what I'm going to do is you can see, sometimes you can see the beginning of the note gets cut off a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just grab the transition window and just drag it to the left just a little bit so we make sure we get that full attack of that first downbeat. All right, so let's see what that sounds like. Of course, he starts singing again before the end of the phrase. No problem there. We can just, here, I'll hit the zoom. We can cut this out. And we can take out this bass note right here. And now we can make it sound like the song is just having like a natural ending, because this last note in the melody right here we can use to our advantage. Ooh, super, super clean. All right, so we cleaned that transition up pretty nice. Of course, we don't have to worry about the fact that the songs are different keys because this part right here doesn't have a key. So I'm happy with this transition. We can lock it in. All right. All right, now let's do a little bit of wordplay. All right, so when Salt and Pepper comes in, so that ooh, baby, baby, I want to use, so I can highlight this part right here. I can say, hey, give me the vocals. I'm going to copy the vocals. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so in this case, it's actually picking up the shakers that are in the background, which I didn't necessarily want that, but that gives me another idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this for later. And I'm going to go over here later in the song. I know she says it again where it's like a breakdown. Yep, right there. Okay, so there's no shakers in the background there. So I can just grab it here, copy the vocals. All right, now I have the ooh, baby, baby, and I got the shakers. All right, and we're going to wordplay this with a couple different songs. So Human League, Don't You Want Me is in the same key as Push It. And it's got the word baby in the chorus. And the way the pauses line up, I think we can make it work. So I'm going to click on Human League, Don't You Want Me. hit it with the AI flex real quick, and let's find the chorus. Okay, there we go. There's the chorus. So we highlight that, copy the vocals. Let's bring it back over here and start structuring this the way that we want. These are the shakers right here. I'm going to put these over here for now. We'll use them for something later. And let's get this lined up. All right, so I'm going to highlight this part and push it where it's the synth line. I want to duplicate this one more time so it's long enough for the chorus to go over. This song is a little quiet, so I'm going to click on effects and I'm going to bring the gain up just a little bit. Let's try 2.5. All right, and then I feel like this is another one of those cases where he's singing a little bit too fast for my ear. So I'm going to adjust the hold grid, and I'm going to drag it to the left just a little bit, get him in the pocket a little bit more, and then I'm going to get the beginning of this sample. I might have to add a volume effect, but I want to make sure I get that D sound of "Don't You Want Me, Baby." I want to make sure that's in there so it sounds nice and clean. I can shape this however I want. Now, of course, with this loop, you can see she goes, pick up on this, right? And then when I loop it, the word "this" comes in again, which I don't want. No problem. I can show all stems, and I can just get rid of that one word there. This, that comes in with the loop. It's so cool that you can even, automate the individual stems, even on a loop like this. It makes it really easy. Perfect. And if I want the waveform view back, I can just click over here, come back to that. Now let's grab this "Ooh Baby Baby." Let's make this wordplay a little bit more prominent. I can see that this is where she says "Ooh Baby Baby," so I just need that one part right there. Oop, I gotta move it back just a little bit. Make sure we get that ooh. I want to get that full ooh in there. All right, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to use it one more time. So I'm going to click on the sample. I'm going to hit Command C for copy. Actually, I might move this back a little bit too. And of course, I'm going to put another one here. All right, and I'm going to put another one here. And we're going to keep the wordplay going. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring in "Heaven is a Place on Earth," which of course starts with "Ooh Baby," right? So we're keeping the wordplay going. We can actually get rid of "Don't You Want Me" as a track now. We already have the vocals, so we're good with that. So let's delete that. Get rid of that. Now we got "Heaven is a Place on Earth." Let's hit that with the AI flex, of course. And I know the song starts off with "Ooh Baby," so I'm just going to highlight this first section right here. I'm going to grab the vocals. Let's come back over here where we got our wordplay cooking. And I could see on this waveform already, before I even listened to it, I could tell it's kind of quiet. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let's see. Let's bring this one up a little bit more. And then once again, I'm going to drag the sample, make sure I get the beginning of the sample, make sure I get that full ooh in there, right? A lot of people in the 80s, they like to start a little bit before the downbeat. I noticed that. Okay, of course, we just want the "Ooh Baby," so I'm going to cut this down a little. And just want to fine-tune that. Okay, I like that. It's a nice clean cut. I'm going to bring another ooh baby over here. And then I'm going to copy this one again, Heaven is a Place on Earth, and I'm going to put it over here. I'm basically trying to make it sound like they're singing back and forth with each other. Oh,
Hi, Brandon.
I put it a little bit too close. Yes.
So there's a really basic question. How do you copy a sample with the automation? So you do something magic on your keyboard, or how do you do it?
To be honest, I feel like when I hit Command C and then I hit Command V, sometimes the automation is there and sometimes it's not. I've noticed. I don't know if there's something that I was not doing right there, but yeah, because sometimes it'll copy over, sometimes it doesn't. But the thing is, I'm so used to using the automations at this point, I don't like if it doesn't copy over, I just do it again real quick and I don't even think about it.
Hey, if you press the Option key or the Alt key and then drag the sample, you get a copy, including the automation always.
Okay, so that's cool right there. Of course, there's no key in that part to push it, so everything sounds good. So I'm gonna hit. Actually, I'm going to do the option thing because now I'm going to copy the sample again, but this time I don't want the automation because now I want the chorus to actually play out. So I'm going to drag this out till I see that she's done singing because I know that's just the intro chorus right there. And instead of letting her continue to sing over Push It, we're going to grab our next song here. I'm going to drag this sample over because I don't want to lose it. We can delete Heaven is a Place on Earth as a track now, and we're going to get the next track ready, which is Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar. All right, so of course, just real quick, hit it with the AI Flex. This song starts with a snare. It's like 4. It comes in on it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and boom, dun, 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 dun. So I know that, and DJ.Studio actually picked that up. It knows that this is the downbeat, so that's cool. But I want to bring it in on that snare because I like how that comes in. And then I think I might put these push it shakers over this intro, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's drag this transition window back here. And of course, we want to layer this with Heaven is a Place on Earth, which is going to work beautifully in key. And we're going to put that snare right there. Of course, we're going to drag this transition window back a little bit so we get that full snare in there. And I can actually make this transition window pretty short because what I'm actually going to do is just mute all this. I just want to get rid of it. So I can highlight this and I can click on mute selection. And then if I want to smooth out the mute, I can by just the automation line shows up, which is really nice, makes it really easy. So now this is just going to cut off when the snare comes in. All right, so of course that's going to sound really good, but I just want to put a quick transition in there to make it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to drag in this impact, and I'm going to line it up right with where the snare comes in. So it should make things sound really nice. Nice. And then, like I said, I might take these push it shakers from this vocal track, right? We weren't trying to get shakers, but we got some shakers. Let's see if we can be creative with them. Let's just see what it sounds like real quick. So it'd come in right here. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. Oh, maybe I need to go the other way. And then it's kind of loud, so I'm just going to turn it down. I'm going to make a loop out of it, and then I can turn everything down just a little bit. It kind of carries the mix a little bit better. Now, obviously, she sings one extra phrase. So to make this fit, I'm just going to highlight this one bar, this one phrase right here, and I'm just going to delete it. And then you'll hear that the chorus will now fit perfectly. can smooth out the end of these shakers with a volume automation. Okay, let's listen to this in whole now. This part right here, because this is a really fun section. Let's lock this transition in, and yeah, let's check it out. Sounds beautiful. Let's make it even more exciting. As soon as Pat Benatar starts singing, let's switch the beat right away. We have Outfield, Lose Your Love Tonight, classic, also in key with Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And yeah, let's just make sure it's warped into the grid, which takes 2 seconds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 16 bars of Lose Your Love Tonight, and I'm going to say, hey, give me the instrumental now. So I'm going to copy the instrumental, and I'm going to drag it over to where Pat Benatar starts her verse. I think I have to put it in sample lane 3 now. All right, so right there at bar 9. So now I can come over here to Pat Benatar, and I can say show all stems. And I'm right at bar 9, going to make sure that the melody goes away, that the bass goes away. Of course, I can hit zoom if I need a bigger view. And, oh, got to chop that a little better. There we go. And then I'm going to keep the drums because the beginning of Lose Your Love Tonight doesn't have any drums. It's just pretty much the guitar riff and maybe some bass in there. So now that we got the melody and the bass out of the way on Pat Benatar, now because it's in key with Lose Your Love Tonight, it should sound really nice. All right, let's see. Sounds nice. I'm just going to make sure that we get the beginning of that first guitar note there, right? Make sure that comes in. Let me actually clean up this automation just a little bit more. Okay.
So guys, what do you think of what DJ Ragoza is creating? I really love it. So give him some
it's a lot of fun, right?
Yes, because he's doing so many awesome things and playing around with music. That's it sounds awesome.
This is what I love to do. It's so much fun to be able to just, and like I said, earlier, you see how quickly I'm able to throw this all together. If we were doing this in Ableton, I would still be on Faithfully by Journey. You know what I mean?
We had one question, by the way,
yes.
about your combination about Born in the USA and Faithfully.
Yes.
How did you get that idea?
Really, so I DJ a lot. Obviously, I DJ for a lot of different people. One big piece of advice I have, if you're having trouble getting inspired to do stuff like this in DJ.Studio, what I would recommend is going into your history of when you DJ live, and then take that set that you did live. Every time I DJ live, what I do is I go in my history, I highlight all the songs, and I put them into a crate, and then I can put it into DJ.Studio, and I can refine the ideas even more. So that's actually a mashup. I don't remember when I came up with it. I've been doing that one for a long time. But that's something that I used to do like in my live sets. But now that I have DJ.Studio, it's really easy to put together. And like I said, I've done similar stuff in Ableton, but warping Faithfully by Journey always took forever. But yeah, that's a good piece of advice for everybody. Go and take what you do live, and then put that in a DJ.Studio to get a head start on inspiration. That'll help you a lot. All right, so I want Lose Your Love to come in right after she's singing her chorus. Of course, we got to get rid of her vocals. I'm going to drag this back just a little bit. Get rid of the vocals and oh yeah, everything else in here. And then you know what? We're gonna redrum this whole thing. So this is already a mashup, right? Because we're mashupping. We're putting Pat Benatar over outfield. But let's make the drums more exciting too. Let's come over here to Run DMC. It's tricky. And these are really heavy drums. I love the drums in this song. All right, so yeah, flex it real quick. I can see on the waveform this is where the breakdown is. Now, even though I can highlight and say copy drums, which I'm going to do right now, some helpful advice I have for you guys: if you're going to copy drums like this, DJ.Studio stems are really good. No matter where you copy, you're going to get decent stems. But these are still AI stems, so you'll get better results if you find a part in the song that's a little bit more of a breakdown. So I know I'm going to get really good drums from this section right here because there's only like a little bit of bass and like that vocal line. So I'm going to grab the drums from over there and I'm going to use it to redrum this mashup. Actually, I think I need to see the stems here. So right here where she said get down to it, I'm going to take away the drums there and we're going to replace it with the tricky drums. Now, if I look at this waveform, I can already see, I don't have to listen to it. I can see that this is where that snare buildup is that we all know. Boom, right? So I can see it's right here. So I can just hit Command E. I can grab this little snare buildup and I can put it right there, right before the chorus. It's going to make the introduction of the chorus so much more exciting. And then, of course, I can, drag this out. Just duplicate that as many times as I need. I don't even know if I need this section anymore. But we'll keep it around just in case. Yeah, so I'm going to duplicate that until the end of that song. Let me just make sure I get the full attack of that first kick there. Add the volume effect. And then I want to grab actually this part. Oh, where's It's Tricky over here. When I wake up. This little shaker breakdown, I like that too. So I'm just going to copy the drums from this part. Yep, copy drums. Move it over. We're going to use this for the transition. Yeah, so I'm going to put it right here. So I can actually get rid of these drums. And then we'll keep the tricky drums going. Well, for some reason the kick drum is missing from that one, but that's okay. I'm just gonna copy it over from here. I can. So now that I made this all like one sample, I can click on this. I can hit Command C and I can just Command V this whole thing over here if I want to. And then just fix that up real quick. And I just can copy it again because now it's going to line up perfectly. I could put this right here. Oop, where did my DJ.Studio go?
Someone is asking you if you can turn up the sound of the DJ.Studio music a little bit because it's...
Oh, yeah.
I think the music is getting a bit softer or something. Yeah, thank you.
All right, then of course now this is when we can actually bring in It's Tricky. So I'm going to grab this transition window. That's of course we all know how this song starts with the shakers at the beginning. And I can honestly, I can just mute this whole selection. I don't even need a big transition window. We're just using it to make the transition happen. So I'm just gonna mute this selection and drag this back a little bit so we get that first note in there. And then to make the transition even more exciting, I'm gonna add a deck stop. This is another fun effect that you guys can look for. So you can put a deck stop right here.
Recital.
It almost makes it sound like I'm hitting the stop button on Outfield, right? It makes the transition a lot more exciting. So, all right, yeah, let's make sure that we're locking our transitions in here. Things are coming together pretty good. All right, so now we're in It's Tricky. Right here is where we're going to switch it up. I'm going to take Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine, and we're going to bring that in. And now we don't have to worry about key on this one because it's tricky to rock around, to rock around. They're just rapping, they're chanting, they're not singing, so we don't have to worry about a key clash right here. So let's take Sweet Child of Mine. Yeah, I flex it real quick. That's the downbeat at the beginning of the song, I already know. And here's the chorus, so we just drag this over. Gonna hit the stems. Gonna get rid of the melody, get rid of the bass. There really is no bass, but let's get rid of it anyway. And now the guitar intro for Sweet Child of Mine should sound nice under the chorus of It's Tricky. Let's see.
Right on time. It's tricky. Here we go. It's tricky to rock around, to rock around. That's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky, 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 tricky. It's tricky to rock around, to rock around. That's right on time. It's tricky. Tricky.
Of course, we can clean up the end of this transition. We can get rid of the vocals at the end of Tricky. Make that sound nice. And then these drums right here, you can hear because there's a lot of stuff going on that the stems, it does sound like a little bit hollow there, but that's really easy to fix because we can literally just take the drums from over here that we got earlier, copy it over, and I'm going to Command V it right here. And then, of course, I can mute the drums up here, since now we have them in the sample lane. I think, yeah, we'll do the switch up right about there. Oh. All right, so that's sounding good. All right, so now that Sweet Child of Mine is coming in, yeah, that sounds good now. If we zoom in, we can see that that first kick drum there for Sweet Child of Mine comes in a little bit early. So maybe, I don't know if we need to adjust next beats or if we just need to adjust this beat. So let's just adjust this beat for now. This could just be a little off because the drummer was not paying attention or whatever. Yeah, because the rest of this waveform looks like it's on beat. So we'll just use the individual. So yeah, we just use the individual beat grid for that one just to fix that. It's instrumental right here anyway, and I know that Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight is in perfect key with Sweet Child of Mine. So we can find the chorus of Take Me Home Tonight. There it is. Copy vocals. Bring it over here to the beginning of Sweet Child of Mine. Yep. kind of quiet. Let's just turn it up a little bit. I can see that he's a little bit ahead of the beat, so let's just adjust the full beat grid. I'm just going to drag it to the left a little bit, put him in that pocket a little bit better. And now it should sound good. Of course, let's get that, make sure we get that take, that T sound in there. Before she says, "Be my little baby," I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to have him repeat the chorus. So I'll have him repeat it right here. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. Of course, let's just go straight to the chorus of Sweet Child of Mine. We don't want the verse in there because the flow of this mix is pretty fast. So I'm just going to click right here on bar 25 where the verse starts. We're going to split it, and then we're going to find where the chorus comes in. Actually, I like that little build-up before the chorus comes in. I don't think that'll throw off the phrasing too much. So I'm going to click right here on, what was that, bar 39, hit Command E, and then I can bring that, I can just get rid of this middle section here and move it in, and it should line up pretty good. The only thing is, he says the word cry here. It's like we're cutting off like the end of the phrase. So, yeah, let's show the stems, and let's just get rid of that word cry, which is right here. Okay, now let's see how it flows. Yeah, I kind of like that because it gives a space for that baby to ring out, and then the chorus comes in. So I'll just put a transition right here just to kind of smooth it out a little bit more. So this right here is where we can mix out because there's like 8 bars of instrumental right there. So like I said, I can hit Command E just to give myself a visual reference. The next song that we're going to mix in, of course, we can delete Take Me Home Tonight because we already grabbed the vocals from that. The next song that we're mixing in is Funky Town. This is kind of cheating. This came out in the late 70s, but people were listening to it in the early 80s, so we're going to use it. Of course, hit it with the AI Flex a little bit. And I can see, too, I know that this song is it's not the same key as Sweet Child of Mine, but it has a flat intro. So right here, it's just drums. This is where the bass line comes in. I can see it on the waveform. So all I have to do, the phrasing of this is a little weird, but all I have to do is drag this track so that the bass line, where that bass line comes in, it lines up with the end of the transition window. Now, because I dragged it, lined it up like that, and I dragged it there, now I know I have a perfect 8 bars of flat drums that I can use for this Sweet Child of Mine transition. So I can just drag this over here now. So another added thing that I want to put on this transition is there's this edit that I like. I didn't make this edit, but I'm going to drag this edit into the sample lane from my computer. So I dragged in this edit of It Takes Cool. Now, when you drag something into a sample lane, you can drag songs in there. But you just have to make sure that, because you're not going to get the AI Flex option with the sample, so you just have to make sure that your beat grid is where you want it. You can see this one's a little off for some reason, so I'm just going to grab it, move it to the beginning. Now, if we listen to this edit, it's a lot of fun, but what I like is this end part right here. It's just the chant, go, go, go. So what I'm going to do is just take that part. I'm going to hit Command E. I'm going to delete this beginning part, and I'm going to take this this outro of this this edit, and I'm going to layer it over this transition, because this transition is instrumental anyway. So why not put a fun go chant over it? And then he says, we have to hold up, wait a minute at the end. So that will actually be a good opportunity to cut off the instrumental for Sweet Child of Mine. We'll make sure we get rid of the vocals too. And of course, yeah, we can get rid of the drums towards the end as well.
Hey, Ragoza, may I interrupt you a little?
Yeah.
If you click with your mouse in one of the stem lanes and you drag, you mark a block. Can you do it? Just click in the red part and mark. Yes, and now click and drag. Yes, and now release the mouse.
Yep.
And now you get this mute selection.
Yeah.
So you don't need to use the automation. You simply drag and click mute selection.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so instead of doing all that, I could just
instead of using the automation.
All right, let's do it with the bass. So I'll grab that, and then I will mute selection, and then if I want to clean it up, I could just do that. Oh, yes. That's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, because I want to use the automation line anyway. It's right there.
And maybe you can show the crossfade and the swap on the stems if you want to use it. So those other two circles that are in there.
Oh yeah, I haven't really messed around too much with the crossfade yet. So this is the crossfade.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So you can drag it around, and if you take the swap, it's a mutual swap. Oh no! Grab the swap button. The swap.
The swap.
No, the swap is to the right. That one. Yes.
Oh, that's a swap. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Ah. Okay, that I think is going to be really, really nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so the thing is, guys, DJ.Studio has updates all the time. So I didn't even, I saw these features come up like last week or so, but I haven't had a chance to get familiar with them yet because I've been, having to actually make mixes. But that's really cool. I don't know if we'll use it in this transition because these songs aren't in the same key, but that's really cool to know how that works. And then if I want it back, I can just do that. Oh, that's so nice. Wow. Yeah, the workflow is so awesome now. Very cool. I think I just need a transition to where he says hold up. I think that will kind of tie things together a little bit better. Hey, perfect. Okay, we'll lock that in. I already know I want to mix Supersonic over this song. I don't know if everybody in here knows this song, but if you ever wonder where Fergie got her flow from, if you know the song Fergalicious, you'll recognize the flow in this song. So that's where the verse starts. So I'm going to grab the vocals. And I want her to start rapping where the song, where Funky Town originally would start singing. I want to replace it with the rapping. Little surprise there, right? So what I could do, I could hit mute stems if I just want to do something quick. And I want to, if I click mute original stem, it's going to mute the vocals up here. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just be a little bit more manual with the stems, which is great because you have both options. So I'm going to just take out the vocals here. I think I'm going to tuck her into the pocket a little bit more with the beat grid. And I'm going to turn her up a little bit. Okay, so I like her flow over it, but you can hear that there's some of the vocal that's bleeding into the melody stem because they had effects on the vocal or whatever. But this is why I like having these individual stem automations, because I can just take out that part that I hear, like right there. So I can just take that part out if I want. Let's see. Oop, a little too much. Move this over here. Yep, there's another one right there. So just chop that there. Okay, so where she goes supersonic, there's like some space there, obviously. So let's get the waveform view back here. And what I want to do is hit Command E right here. I want to go to where the chorus is. Funky Town. Of course, we don't hear the vocals because the vocals are muted. We're going to change that in a second. Let's hit Command E. Get rid of this middle part. Drag this in. Okay, and then of course, let's get our vocals back because I want that Won't You Take Me to Funky Town part in there. What's cool is we can keep both choruses, we can keep the vocals of both choruses in the mix because the pauses, they kind of stay out of the way of each other, which is nice.
I'm rocking your world, supersonic. I want to take me to funky town. Supersonic. Won't you take me to?
All right, so let's keep that supersonic going. I'm gonna use the option, or oh yeah, I think I have to. Oh yeah, no, it worked. Nice. Thank you for that tip. So. Put it there. Hey, perfect. All right, let's get our waveform view back. What I actually want to do here is I want to duplicate this chorus. I want her to sing it twice because the second time she sings it, I'm going to change the music under Funky Town. I'm going to change it to Pump Up the Jam. We're going from the early 80s to the late 80s. Oh yeah, we could delete Supersonic now as a track because we already have the vocals, so we're good there. Oh, we got to rearrange it in the playlist a little bit. So let's bring Pump Up the Jam over here. And make sure it's locked into the grid, of course, which takes 2 seconds. I know this song starts with the downbeat. And let's just drag it over to where the chorus of Funky Town is. And it'd be right about there. Oop. I moved these samples by accident. That's the thing. Sometimes the samples, they get glued to the transition window. So let me just place these again. Okay, we're good. All right, that's good. So now what I want to do is I want to click on the transition window, show the stems, and I just want to take out the... oh, I didn't mean to do that. If you grab the window by accident and you drag it, you just hit Command Z and A, all is forgiven. Let's drag this over. Let's shorten this window up a little bit. What I'm going to do is... Actually, I think I need to... All right, that's where the chorus is done. So I can see where she's done singing. That's what I was looking for. She's done singing there. So let's take out the melody, the bass, and let's see what it sounds like. And then right here, I'll take out the Funky Town drums because this is where the Pump Up the Jam drums come in full force. So much fun. Let's just listen to it from Supersonic.
I'm rocking your world, supersonic. I want to take me to funky town. Supersonic. Won't you take me to funky town? Supersonic. Won't you take me to funky town? Supersonic. Won't you take me to funky town? Supersonic. I want to take me to funky town. Won't you take me to funky town? Won't you take me to funky town? Won't you take me to funky town?
Pump up the jam, pump it up.
Lines up really nice. Now,
It sounds amazing.
I'm glad you like it.
So people are even asking like, oh, will he also put out the full mix somewhere out there on the internet for so we
Yes.
can listen to the full result?
I will give you guys. So we're gonna finish this up in just a few minutes. I know we're going a little bit over time, but when I'm done with this, I'm gonna export it, put it on Dropbox, and you guys can listen to it. You guys can have it. But yes, I do plan on making like a full length 80s mix with this kind of pace for like a whole hour or 2 hours if I can find enough songs.
Or we can put it on the YouTube channel where we show where all the transitions that you made, the samples that you added. That's also a great idea. Okay, you do your thing. There was one person who said, yeah, it would be nice to let Ragoza finish the last part on his real pace without being bothered to explain stuff to us.
No, it's okay. It's only a couple. It's
we
only a couple
really-
more tracks.
We're also interested in like seeing how fast that would go. But we love your educational instructions. So please stick to what you're doing.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. We'll do it. We'll do a different theme, and we'll I'll show you guys. I'll do a speed run through some other songs. But what I love about Pump Up the Jam is I love how there's the rapping at first, but then right here, the chorus comes in right there. And now this is what I talk about when I tell people I like to make mixes that are familiar but unexpected at the same time. Certain songs set you up to make these fun moments. So people are expecting the chorus to come in. Let's replace the chorus with Madonna. So we're going to take Into the Groove, which I know is already C minor, just like Pump Up the Jam. And just make sure, of course, AI flex it real quick. I know that she starts singing, I think, at bar 9. And of course, the song, I think, is a little bit slower, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to copy the vocals anyway. I don't mind speeding things up if I'm just using the vocals. If I'm playing like the whole song, I don't really like to speed things up too much from the original tempo. But since we're just using the vocals, let's do it. So I'm going to drop it right here, right where the chorus comes in. And then in this case, this is a more simple placement, so I can just click on mute stems. So now this will automatically mute the vocals and pump up the jam. So Madonna will come in and cut her off, but in a way that sounds clean.
Because that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that.
Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove you're to me.
She's actually a little bit loud. Most of them we have to turn up, but let's turn her down just a little bit.
And you find out if you do that.
Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove you're to me. Yeah. Get up on your feet.
So much fun. I love the way these two sound together. All right, so yeah, we know that sounds good. I just want to find the end of the chorus. It's kind of like a post-chorus. So let's cut her off there. And I think I want to put like a nice echo right here. So let's just go into effects, go into echo, and let's give her a let's do a half beat echo this time. But let's crank up the feedback because there's a lot of space between now and the next phrase. So let's see. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do, of course, people love the chorus of Pump Up the Jam. I don't want to get rid of it completely. I want it to be in there. So I'm going to highlight this part of Pump Up the Jam. Even though the vocals are muted, I can still copy the vocals down to the sample lane. I'm going to drag it over here, and we're going to mash it up with Sweet Dreams. All right, get rid of Madonna. And then next we need Sweet Dreams. So let me just move that around in the playlist. And make sure this track is good to go. I can't stress how easy it is to prep tracks now. Doing a mix like this used to take so long, but now you guys see what I mean by it. You get to have all the fun without all the boring stuff dragging you down. So I think I gotta move this over a little bit. I gotta put this right here. Let's show the stems. Let's keep the drums from Pump Up the Jam, but let's go ahead and get rid of everything else. And of course, we're gonna have Sweet Dreams now coming in. Sounds a little off. All right, so you see that Pump Up the Jam is a little bit behind, but it sounded good with the Madonna, so I don't want to affect anything over there. This is another example where adjust beats with next beats is really useful, because I can just adjust it now in the transition window and not worry about it messing up what I did before. So that's really nice. So now it should sound a bit tighter. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, because we muted the vocals. And let me just drag this this window back a little bit so we don't get that day part in there. Okay, cool. Let me just hear that again. Oh, I like that. Nice. The echo in there gives it a nice touch. And of course, that's where I want it to break. I'm just going to put my my favorite transition in there. Percussive shakers from the vocal stem, which was not intended, but I kind of like it. I'm going to leave it there. I don't mind it. Doesn't sound bad to me, so I'm going to leave it. All right, we're almost done. We only have 2 more tracks. So I'm going to use Wild Thing, the instrumental version I have in here. I'm going to use that to basically redrum Sweet Dreams. So, like always, I'm just going to quickly let DJ.Studio do its thing. I'm going to find the downbeat. Now, this is one scenario. I could already see by looking at this waveform, this is one scenario where I might actually try the regular AI mode, because if we listen to this, if I solo this out, you can hear that the beginning of the drum roll kind of gets cut off a little bit, but I want it in there. So let me try the regular AI mode and see if that gives me a different result. Well, what I could do, I could just grab the drum roll from here, because really I know this is the downbeat, and that's like the important thing. So what I'm going to do, just for time's sake, I'm going to line up the downbeat with the beginning of the transition window, and I'm going to I'll just use this drum roll to replace that one that's at the beginning. But let's place this right where she starts. And of course, we can drag this window out a little bit. I'm not sure how much we need, but we'll figure it out in a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the Sweet Dreams drums, and we'll just leave the Wild Thing drum. And then this part right here is that drum roll that I want at the beginning. So I can just, I can just copy this to the sample lane and move this over. It should line up. Of course, we'll clean it up a little bit with the volume automation. And yeah, I think that'll sound the way I want it to. Oh, let's get rid of that. Cut it off. This downbeat right here. And then I just want to find the chorus section of this instrumental. That part right there. I like that part. So I'm just going to Command E right there. And then, oh, if I can see the part that I want to chop, I could actually highlight it and just hit delete if it's in my vision, in my screen view. Now, her vocal does get cut off a little bit abruptly here, but I'm going to, the only reason why I'm cool with that is because the next vocal I'm going to bring in, the last song, which is Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. He's going to come in a little bit early with the shot to the heart, and it's kind of going to cover up her vocal being abruptly cut off. So let's just find the chorus in You Give Love a Bad Name. Right there, okay. So you guys know the drill now. We'll say, hey, give me the vocals. We got the vocals. Let's bring that over to the end of the Sweet Dreams transition. Let's see how he's sounding over the beat. Once again, I think he's a little fast, so I'm going to take the beat grid. I'm going to adjust the full beat grid. I'm going to move it to the left a little bit, and now you can see, you can visually see his cadence falling into the pocket a little bit better now. I might move it even a little bit more. All right, and then of course, let's get that shh sound from the beginning of the vocal. You can see it right there. Oh, I didn't mean to add the filter. Yeah. Add the volume. Okay. You can see that there's like that little pause right there, but what I want to do is I want to line up Bad Name with that guitar note. It's like the same cadence, you know, Bad Name, Wild Thing. It's like the same. So let's see if it lines up nice. And this one, I actually might just adjust this one to go ahead a little bit more. There we go. Nice, nice. Okay, of course, this is the end of the mix, so what I can do is I can hit Command E, I can put a split right there, delete the rest of the track. Of course, I can get rid of the main track of You Give Love a Bad Name. And then it's always nice to put like an impact at the end. So I got like this glass smashing sample that I like to use. I'll put that right at the end right here. Right in this last note. Or maybe I can just get rid of that note. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Close. Let's see if it lets me Okay. Let's take the part out like that. And this sample is definitely kind of a little loud. Just going to turn it down a little bit. And then I'm going to, of course, add a tag at the end.
DJ Ragoza, man.
And then maybe just a quick transition effect at the end there. Just use this one, should be good.
DJ Ragoza, man.
Nice. Okay. So we did the whole mix. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys want me to go to the beginning and let it play through and we can listen to it, or would you rather me export it and put it on Dropbox for you to listen to later? I'm cool with it either way. If you guys want to hear it all now, I can let it play, or if you want to go to questions, I'm cool with that too. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, first things first,
Oh.
thank you, Ragoza. This was so cool. It's a big flashback to the 80s. I did a lot of yeehaws and had goosebumps with your music choice. So
Nice.
super cool.
DJ.Studio is just such an amazing canvas for a creative mind. If you love DJing, you love mixing music, like DJ.Studio is definitely an amazing canvas because you get to let your imagination run wild and you're not bogged down by having to spend, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes on one song, getting it warped just right, getting it into the beat grid. Nah, you hit AI Flex and let DJ.Studio do and that's the other thing too. A lot of DJs, when they hear about new technology, they're like, oh, I don't like technology doing things for me. Well, here's the thing. DJ.Studio is doing the boring things for you, the things that don't require any actual skill. You know what I mean? The creative stuff is on you. DJ.Studio just makes it easier for you to get to the fun stuff and not spend time with the boring stuff, you know? Thank you guys again. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Love DJ.Studio. Can't say enough good things about it. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Well, thank
See
you,
next time.
Ragoza. Yo, bye-bye.
Baby, baby.